Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive. This is the happy hour, and I am feeling very happy. I'm back in my studio. It's been 8 long days, but you guys know I can't do this without Bronco Santa. So let's bring in Mr. Bronco Santa. Tim,
Yeah, hey everybody. How you
man,
doing?
I feel like I just saw you, buddy.
You know, I feel like I talked to you yesterday in Texas,
Yeah,
and,
well,
and, and
yeah,
you're back home now. I see.
yeah. Technology is amazing, isn't it? Like you can just be somewhere else and still, I at least produced a show, I'll say. And that was nice of you and Dwayne from Bronco Wild Outdoors to do my show for me. There was not going to be a show, and well, you guys were like, no, that's never going to work. And you stole my passwords, and you got into my stuff, and you play with my toys, man.
So that's what you get for giving me your ATM card PIN number, and it just goes from there. So, boys and girls, whatever you do, do not share your ATM PIN code number with anybody, no matter how much you think you know them.
That's right, especially if they're Bronco Santa there, man. But we got a lot to talk about. And first off, I want to say hi to everybody. We got a bunch of King in. Mark King is in the house. Dr. Detroit, one of the OGs of the live streams, is in, man. That's good to see. We got Eric in the house. What else is going on? I saw the classics. There's Mobile Moto. I think he's in here still. The Bronco and Mustang. What's going on, man? Mobile Moto said he's got delayed till June. Well, something, Tim, you know a little bit about, right?
Absolutely. I'm starting a campaign on GoFundMe to come up with the money to buy a decorative frame system to put all the not rejection letters, but all the delay notices from Ford as a nice collage that I can hang on my wall, along with some of the other cool paperwork that my dealer was good enough to save for me. I got all the paperwork from the vehicle, stickers, all that stuff that was on the vehicle.
Well, that should make your vehicle worth a little more, right? If you ever go to get rid of it, man, you've got this plaqued information where it took only like 60 extra weeks to get it or something.
I think so, yeah.
Well, we got Revy's in the house. We got Dirk in the house. 4 High, 4 Low is in the house, man. Welcome in, everybody. I'm glad to be back and talking to you guys. Guys, let me tell you, that's the longest I've been out on the road in a while, since probably playing music. So it had been a while, and this trip kind of kicked my ass. What's up, Valley dude? But this trip kind of kicked my ass a little bit, but for good reasons, Tim. We started off last week with the Super Celebration East, and if you're just watching this channel, just trying to figure out what we do, we're talking everything automotive, by the way. So please smash the like button for me. It just helps new people find the channel, and I greatly appreciate that. Go sometime. You can open, if you're on your computer, open up another window, go over to Overlanding for Fun, and show Tim a little bit of love, because Tim, we want to get you to 1,000 subs, man. That's just a goal of mine.
That is my goal.
Once I help you get to 1,000 subs, you're gone. You're off the show. Like
That's what I hear. Well, by the time I get to 1,000 subs, I think Gavin will be old enough to have his own channel,
right?
And then you can start that over again.
Well, young Gavin does have his own channel, by the way. He when we were all at dinner, he showed me his gaming channel or something, and I did subscribe to young Gavin's channel. But anyways, I'm pretty beat, man. I flew in. I got in this morning. This afternoon around 11 o'clock Central, and literally, I sat down, started editing videos. The super video is going to drop today, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of sneak peek of the super video I've got coming up. Yeah, hopefully you guys like it. Starting to bring in some more car stuff to the channel because, well, we're a little bit everything, two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. But this week I got to drive some sports cars, man, and I was real happy about that. But back to the beginning. Yeah, man, I got over to East Tennessee last Tuesday morning. Got our booth set up, and we were right next to Bronco Battalion USA, and Heidi's a good friend, and man, that girl can sling some shirts, dude. They were there. I heard a ton of people going, I remember you last year. I was hoping you were going to be there this year. So good for the vendors, man. That's I like seeing little businesses like that. Just, she's been growing. She sells quite a bit of the Bronco gear.
So how did you meet Heidi?
I met Heidi by she was posting something silly on Instagram, and I kind of called her out on it. And Heidi was new to all this, and so she reached out to me and said, "Hey, how can I fix that?" And I thought, if you're, you're gonna be like cool and be like, "Hey, man, I take constructive criticism." I wasn't a troll to her,
Mhm.
but she sensed, obviously, in my what I posted to her, which I don't even remember, but she had sensed that, oh yeah, there's, let's clean that issue up. And just through Instagram, started talking to her, and next thing I know, I interviewed her, and then she come by the house a couple months ago, and yeah, so I've known Heidi for over a year now, it seems like, and she's a nice lady.
I think that's kind of a testament to the community that we're building here with the Broncos and the various social media, and because it's kind of cool. I tell you, I think overwhelmed in a bit of a way of all the new people that I've met through YouTube and
Hmm.
Instagram and now the Bronco experience and that's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, no. The car community in general is always been kind to me. Any kind of interest I show, I'm an auto journalist, but I'm also an enthusiast. I'll find something silly like the Nissan Xterra. I was just silly about that vehicle for some reason, and I kind of like what I do with Bronco. I dove deep into it and made a lot of friends. And just through that brand, I probably have, if I need a couch to stay on anywhere in America, I probably have a couch. Excuse me. Woo. Oh man, allergies kicking
Shaped in
in.
the form of a Nissan Xterra backseat.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, yeah. But the car communities in general have always been nice. I mean, there's always that asshole
Mhm.
out there that's just going to kind of deter you from wanting to be there. And Jeep clubs, I will say, are pretty harsh. But for the most part, they
Um,
I've met a few nice Jeep clubs, but yeah.
I,
Mobile, what articles have I written? I've all done all my stuff digitally, man. So it's all been through YouTube and forums and stuff like that. Um, but I hate writing. I'm just and me and Kelly actually were talking about that about our website. She's wanting to do, start writing pieces for the website, which is really, really cool. And if any of our audience ever would like to write something and have it submitted to us, we would gladly, take a look at it. And you never know.
Now,
Uh,
does that have to be in digital form or can it be in crayon or what do you
I prefer electronic form.
electronic? So
Crowns. You got to mail it to me, and it's just difficult.
so if I write it in crayon or even eyeliner and then run it through my scanner, can I send you that?
Jury's out. I'm just gonna say the jury's out on that.
That's
Okay.
fair enough.
But
Fair
as
enough.
far as
I mean, not
writing,
everybody is as sophisticated to be able to write with an eyeliner or even one of those eyelash brushes that's kind of like old school. I gotta get my hand up here. That's kind of like old school calligraphy
yeah,
using the eyelash brush.
right. Mark Keek says written in Comic Sans and wingdings.
There you go, wingdings.
um, John Burnett says the Ford Ranger groups can be harsh. Yeah, there's the thing I've found, especially auto forums, because I've owned a few auto forums and I've wrote pieces for my own auto forums and stuff like that. That yes, if the forums do not take care of it, when I would start out a new forum, I would do it like this. I would know people from maybe other forums and I would pull them in. I would make them mods real quick and I would lay it out. Here's the tone, man. Never for me, this is the way I operated them, was never um don't if somebody asks the tire question a million times, what size tire or what, this and that, never attack somebody for that. Never allow people to be attacked for that, because a lot of people come into the auto world as, generally, especially with YouTube, they're first time people looking to have a question answered. And I've found that if you're just real harsh and a dick to them right off the bat, like, you've probably ruined somebody that might have been they might have been a lifelong car lover after that. Like, I know a lot of people that couldn't turn a wrench, man, and now I would trust them rebuilding my vehicles, and that's just through the forums. So, um, and there were some people that come up to the booth this past week, and they were talking a little bit about that of, I'm not sure, it was simple things, but the simplest things can be, if you've never turned a wrench, can be, kind of scary, Tim.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Uh,
And I'm actually this has been an opportunity for me to start doing. So far, I've done every modification in my truck, including ripping the dash apart. So,
Right.
and the trim pieces to get wiring back and forth. So, I've found it as a great opportunity to do that, and surprised I'm doing so much on such a new vehicle.
Bronco
But the hunting
78.
one's still there.
Bronco 78 had a really good story, and he posted it here. He said, I met a few people at Bronco Supercell that didn't hesitate to give me a helping hand when I was stranded with a busted fuel line at the hotel there in Townsend. He came to my booth and was talking about that. And I believe his name's Craig, right? I'm horrible with remembers.
Craig, yes, his name's Craig.
With remembering people's name. And yeah, that was awesome that, that everybody, especially at those type of meets. For one, I was talking to Craig about this. I was like, hey, man, the cool thing about these is having all their age range of vehicles is probably somebody has what that part you need when you're in need and kind of need that. So yeah, somebody stepped up to him, helped him out with a fuel line, and got him back on the road, which was really cool. And you got to spend some time with him a little bit. I think he went on the ride with you guys, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think at some point, Craig and the rest of the group, we all came together. We did a couple different things, and including we did the what is it, the Foothills Parkway ride after the event was over. That was kind of nice. Nice peaceful afternoon. Riding through the mountains as a group. We stopped at a couple different places and took the scenery in and enjoyed that, and then eventually rode down into almost to Pigeon Forge and went to a nice barbecue restaurant and ate, and then met up with a bunch of other Bronco owners that were rolling in to eat dinner.
Right. Well, Impejot says Wild Track owners are fair game though. So, I'm sure a Wild Track owner drives by you, man, and you might need a part or something. He might pass on by. Who knows?
I got a line on a guy that I know that owns a Wild Track that I probably would not want to mess with.
Oh man, it's a good time here tonight.
Yes.
I have to say thank you to Kelly wrote it down. I will not remember his name tonight, but one of the viewers dropped this off at my booth, man. Nice bottle of Single Barrel. He was a viewer of the show, and he's seen that I've been drinking on that lately. And so I said, hey man, that's going on the shelf. You're gonna donate something cool to me like that. That is going on the shelf, and which I'm consuming it currently, and just enjoying it. And tonight I'm in a Nissan Titan mug tonight. That's the thing. You attend some of these press events, man. They will, as a journalist, they will hook you up with all kinds of goofy stuff with their product name on it. So I have a ton of Nissan stuff. Toyota sent us a goodie bag. The weirdest thing, Tim, it was one of those emergency pins that, break glass or cut your seatbelt.
Oh, yeah.
But it was amazing. I was sitting by another journalist, and he opened that box, and I didn't even go through the bag because honestly, I've gotten enough of that shit over the years. Like, I just don't care. Like, I appreciate it. It's not like it's not appreciated, but usually I save that stuff and I give it to local friends and stuff. They're like, hey, they like that. And I was watching this guy struggle to figure out what it was. And I knew instantly what it was. And this is a car guy. And I was like, how do you not know? Because, there's that pointy end.
Right.
So you can pop the glass. It had the little razor blade, and it looks like the on a pin, I don't know what, the little hook of the pin that holds it to your paper. Yeah, looks like that. For cut it. Yeah, and it had a little LED light on it. I was like, what kind of car journalist are you, man?
I tell you what, it's top quality when it comes to the LED light.
Oh yeah, this was really top shelf. But Toyota gave me a bandana, a Supra bandana, like kind of like the Japanese when the samurai or whatever would tie on his head. And I was like, when am I ever going to need this? At what point in my life am I going to go, you know what? If I get the bandana out, that's when the ladies come a calling, Tim.
So, hey, out of this, the Supra, real quick, what were your impressions about it?
Well, I got to save that for the video.
Okay, never mind. Did it have the zoomies?
Oh, dude. So I'm going to go through. I've got a whole list of stuff I'm going to go through and talk to you guys about in just a minute. But no, that car was, I'm not the first to get to drive the car. So my video that you're going to see is just me, my impressions of it. It's not going to be like, I'm not really breaking it down, like, because that car's been broke down for 2 years now, or almost 3 years. there's nothing like I'm not going to break ground with that, you know, but I do want in the algorithm for that kind of content. And Toyota likes it when you know, they're like, hey Dave, will you try this out? And my buddy over at Toyota, who I met at the truck event I went to last year, he was all excited about RAV4, the new hybrid RAV4. He was just silly about me driving that car, and sadly I ran out of time and didn't get to drive the damn thing. But
I will say if Toyota had come out with that new Supra maybe a year sooner, I probably would have had that
really,
instead of the Stinger. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I will say
I was wanting to get into a sports car, and you know, Emily had an accident in her car.
Mm-hmm.
It was oh, what the heck was that brand? Scion Toyota, same thing. And one of the things when we looked at a RAV4, she got into it, and it was just like they're identically laid out. Everything in the Toyota, in every vehicle, is all in the same spot,
right.
You know, throughout the entire brand. And she got in there, and it was like PTSD for her. She got rear-ended. It was a pretty bad accident, and she didn't want anything to do with it. So we started looking at other car brands,
Mm-hmm.
but we both had Toyotas and really liked them, you know. And so had they come out with that, I probably would have stuck with it. But you know, they lost that because they were late to the game.
Yeah. I did enjoy some Texas beer. I mean, you guys saw it on the show last. Was enjoying the Shiner Bock, I believe it was. That was really good. The Texas trip though was fun. So let me load this clip up here. I want to, since you're so interested in this car, I gotta show Tim.
Gotta see it. Gotta see it.
I gotta share the audio. I did learn how to share the audio, and where did my?
You should have had that queued up, ready to go.
Well,
they didn't need to see your desktop, Dave.
That's okay. There's nothing on there. My OnlyFans is only on my phone, so and they'll never find it. But here's a clip of this. I'll just show a little bit of the intro of the video. All right, driving the Supra, man. This thing is little, it's nimble, and it's ready to go. The problem is it's the elephant in the room, man. There's a lot of other brand in this, but the design is all Toyota. The kind of power is you know, Toyota's tuned this to what they wanted, not what the other brand wanted. As you can see, I'm not going to mention the other brand, by the way, because there's no there's no reason to talk about that. But yes, it is a BMW. We do all know that. There's no secrets. And I will say from talking to the Toyota engineers and stuff there at this event, they don't play. I like the fact that they don't hide behind that anymore. You know, initially you don't like to mention that another manufacturer is building your car. You're not highlighting the fact that, oh yeah, BMW builds this car for us. But they dove into it and they were like, yeah, man, we know. And so that was kind of refreshing that they didn't kind of, you know, sugarcoat it. But it is true though that they have been able to, they tune that engine how they wanted it. We know there's a manual transmission coming for that car, which I don't think is needed. After spending I spent a couple hours with that car. I enjoyed the paddle shifting of that car, man. It's crisp. It's I don't know. There's something, it's something about it. Now, you know, I was trying to get, they had two GT86s and they had a manual transmission and an automatic transmission. And I could not get those away from other journalists because they had a track open and you could take them out on the track, you know, and they were having fun with those cars. And you're not going to see any track video from me because for one, I don't know. I just feel like as a journalist, unless I'm really, it's a C8 or something, or it's some vehicle that, you know, is I'm going at just for the track. As what I do, I don't find any interest. I mean, they're fun to watch those videos every once in a while, but what are you going to learn by watching a guy drive around a track? I'm not a race car driver. I'm not going to pretend to be a race car driver. So, I feel like I could have some fun and make some nice lap times. I've done stuff at the California Speedway and had fun, but I wanted to just kind of drive the car around like you would on a daily basis. So that's what you'll see from me tomorrow. That video will drop, and we have a bunch more, Tim. That one there, that is the that's the 3.0 that I was able to drive. One StreamYard trying to do to me? Oh, there you. Oh,
Yep. Sorry, I had to go stoke the fire.
oh, I see that.
Yeah.
But I got all the digits here. That thing is the 382 horsepower and 368 foot-pounds of torque. You definitely realized it in some of the other cars I'll talk about in a minute. It feels like that car when you're throwing it around a little bit. The power to weight ratio on that thing is really, really nice. Now they were talking, they didn't bring the 4-cylinder version, but I was talking to some of the engineers about it, and they said the reason for like they wanted to do the 4-cylinder was a little less weight out front. It balances that car a little bit more. The power is still great in that car, but they felt like having the lighter front end just help balances it. But I will when I can get my hands on the manual transmissions when those pop. I will definitely get my hands on one of those. Toyota seems to like me, so I greatly appreciate it. And you would see more Toyotas on the channel here, but they're me trying to get into any of the press fleets that are. So they station press fleets all across the country, and the nearest one to me right now is Atlanta. And so 4.5 hours to bring me a car, and they literally would drop it off, then they would have to drive back until I can get some other fun journalists around me. It's going to be difficult.
You would think Nashville being the big city that it is.
Well, there were some print journalists around here, but they were older, and I don't think they're in the game much anymore. So come on, YouTube, find me somebody in Nashville that they'll want to help bring cars up to. But let's see, what else did we drive? Let me bring my book out. So it felt like a Toyota event, basically. I got my hands. This is a fun one. I got my hands on the IF. Geez, can't even read this. The IS 500F Sport Performance Launch Edition and V8 power. Tim, 472 horsepowers.
Ooh.
That car would launch so hard, it was crazy. I mean, I've been in some fast cars, but I'm not a 0 to 60 guy. I just like driving the cars. And I want to downshift and I want to just have some fun with it. But that's a video that you'll see coming up soon.
So would you be better with a 0 to 120 versus 0 to 60?
Well, I'm not going to say how fast I got the car up to, but but no, the funny thing is, especially if you haven't launched cars in a while and your brain's not used to it. So I would, and it didn't have launch mode, but I'm talking from a stop to going, like it would sit you so hard back in your seat. You would literally feel your brain, the G's of it, pull your brain back, and it just take a split second. It was like for your brain to come back forward, man. But that car, it was a lot of fun. Carbon fiber brakes, just all the goodies on this thing. And while the where was it? While with the you would think I'd be prepared for this, but I literally just got in. Tim was texting me going, "Hey Dave, you gonna be here for the show?" But the Supra was $52,000 as tested, which isn't, I hate to say anymore, 52,000 isn't a bad price because it seems like in the past 5 years, car prices have went nuts. I'm not talking just from pandemic. I'm like that you could see them just like jumping up and up and up. But the where was it? The 500F is 68,000 that you're going to see me drive. And there was I will say I was over the $100,000 range in some cars I was driving. So good times with that. Obviously you had the Stinger, man.
Yes.
So the idea of a sports coupe or a sports sedan is probably pretty appealing, right?
The coupe. Yeah. So, obviously having 2 young kids, the back door was having the back doors was a good thing for us.
Right.
Although I will say most of the time when we went out as a family, we took our other car. The kids and leather seats didn't go too well. But,
you seem like kids might stress you out a little bit with eating and whatever they do. And
I'm perfectly fine not having cup holders in the back of my my Bronco.
Well,
I can take dirt, I can take water, I can take mud.
Right.
But I can't take milk or food.
Yeah.
French fries or goldfish or any of those things like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny because when my first job, I worked for a Toyota dealership very first job. I was a auto detail person, so I was always amazed. They would, we'd pick up a car, a used car, and they'd bring it back, and I'd have to start detailing it, getting ready. And the shit you would see in some of these cars, you're like, you are fucking disgusting. I mean, I was a 16-year-old kid just being like, I'm never gonna have my car get this way. And now that is a bone of contention because Kelly will not trash a vehicle, but she has like jackets everywhere and just stuff. Because we'll be running around town to get hot, then you walk out and leave your jacket, just weird stuff like that. And I'll be like, hey, can we or receipts, because we're a business, she saves every damn receipt possible. And it is tax time, so we did need those. So I'm not fussing that she does this, but they're just the window crack, they'll be all over, and I hate the chaos. And so yeah, but like you guys saw the video I did on my work truck, and that thing is gross, and I can clean it out in 2 days, 3 days later, it's just right back to. So I live in some chaos, Tim, that you may not want to.
I'm fine with things like I always try to make a point of like, well, I'll eat in the car because I don't make a mess.
Right.
But like if I grab a sandwich or something on the road, I make sure to get it in the bag, and I get that bag out of the car as soon as I stop.
Damn.
And even that was a point of contention driving back to Indiana, Tennessee.
Jolly old Saint Nick over there is.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, we're stopping. I'm like, did you get all the trash out? But it's in the back seat. I don't care if it's in the back seat. There's trash cans here. Get rid of it.
Later, Revy.
That's kind of how I am on those things. But yeah, I hear you. When you spend more time living in your car, that's one thing I haven't done too much of lately. Obviously, since the pandemic, I've been working from home, so there's my 2-hour round trip time in a car that I'm not doing anymore.
Let's see. Adam Weber, he got his window sticker last night, man. That means you're close.
Awesome.
Means you're very, very close to getting that vehicle built and out towards you. So congratulations on that.
Real quick,
you go.
I'm sure Adam probably already knows this if you don't, but you had a great video on where to find the information on the sticker.
Adam actually reached out to me earlier. He commented on that video. He was
awesome.
He was asking some questions about it, and there was one that I was iffy on the answer of it, and it was at the very his question was, hey, at the very bottom of the window sticker there was a separate date on that. Let me I have my window sticker here. We'll look at this real quick because I want to see if it was.
That's right, John. I am a bag Nazi. I don't like trash in the car.
It is not on this one. But I will say, because his question was a little open-ended, but he was asking at the very bottom of Ford's window stickers. I don't know if it was here, the date, or there was actually at the bottom on the PDF that you can open up. You can see a date. I believe the PDF is the print date of it, and this at the very bottom right there, that is the invoice date for the dealers. So when the dealer gets invoiced right before it's built, and so that is that date on that. But
I know this probably doesn't matter too much in the Bronco world because they turn so quick, but any car off the shelf, Ford, whatever, they get invoiced from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When does that come due for the dealer?
I know that's a good question, man. I'll have to talk to a dealership sometime, maybe do an interview with one that will talk about it.
That would be interesting because I'm assuming at some point, they're borrowing money or taking money out of their capital reserves to cover the cost of the vehicle while it's sitting on the lot after some point. They're probably more motivated to sell it quicker to avoid any kind of like financing costs for them.
Well, I think some dealers do somehow finance some of it through the manufacturers, especially newer dealerships. I think they kind of give them an initial line of credit for that stuff. But no, that would be a great topic to talk about because
I mean, I don't know if Mitchell. I doubt he would talk about how the sausage is made.
Yeah, probably not. And there's probably some things that the manufacturers do not want them talking about because, unless you're nerding out like we might on that stuff, that
Mhm.
it's just none of it, normally none of anybody's business.
Well, I always look at it as a negotiating tactic, right? So, I mean, if I know that the dealer's having to pay interest on something to have it sit on his lot, he might be a little bit more motivated to get it out off the lot. And
Ooh.
oh, oh, looky there, Michael.
Michael says, my Bronco is at the dealership and I'm picking up tomorrow morning. Finally off Ice Mountain. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Hey, we need to
Um,
get a background graphic and like champagne bottles popping
that would be
for
funny.
this.
Or
Yeah.
we could have a tip jar. Anyways,
Yes.
so that is congratulations on that, sir, because especially if you've been sitting on Ice Mountain for a while, that's a feat to get those. And I was thinking about today on our flight back from Dallas that I was curious if did they actually get those new 21s actually finally pushed out, because it was supposed to be at the end of March. Ford had set a timeline of like all the Ice Mountain, the 21s, they were going to have those out. So I'd be curious if that actually happened. So maybe I'll talk to a little birdie and see for next show.
So I'm kind of curious. So it's what, 3 months, 4 months, in almost the fifth month of 22, and they're still pushing out quote unquote 21 models. How's that classified? Is it really a 21? I know
Yeah.
you get a 21 model, it might have
I'd
been built in 20, in the latter half of 20, but if it's still a 21 model and it was built in 22, what does it really make to? I mean, what can you do to make it a
Well, technically,
22?
it's
Technically,
not built. So all the ones that were 21s, they stopped at the 1st of December. They technically stopped, and then they were just shoving them aside. They obviously were missing some chips. So I guess there is, if you want to get technical, I'm not sure how the federal government sees it, but
Mhm.
yes, technically, if you have to put one more part in it when it's on dirt mountain or whatever and ship it out, does that technically make it a 22? I think, they're all controlled by their VINs. So the VIN's going to be coded as a 21. So I would think, that car gets traded in a couple of
I,
years. Nobody's ever going to know the history of it.
I guess the the real thing is it's model year. It's not necessarily the year it's built.
Right.
It's just that was the model year.
Right. And nobody
Specific
complains
model.
when, Ford in 96, when they brought out the all new, the all redesign of the F-150, and it was like groundbreaking. And it was what, 96 and a half is what they technically started, I think was the date on them, but they called
Mhm.
them 97s. It was something weird. But first off, I want to say thank you, Adam, for the support, man. That means a lot when you guys do that. It by no means for the channel. You know what it just cost you. That is not a get rich quick scheme here, but we do appreciate the added support. So thank you very much. Texas, Tim, let's finish up with the Celebration East. I had a great time. I partnered with Lifestyle Off-Road for a booth. We split the booth. As you saw, Tim, I got the prime. When you get there first, you kind of
Yeah.
you lay
Yeah.
your flag out, and you're like, I got the prime spot, and I pushed him in the back. But
You
it
snooze, you lose.
that's right. But it didn't seem to matter because we were by a bunch of big names. We had hella bad Broncos behind us.
You did.
We had, what was it, the Max Rider brothers or whatever it's called? I forget.
There was a few. Were they the ones with the white Jeep with the nice pink and blue stripes on it?
No,
Uh,
they had the one with the push button top. It with the electronic top.
oh, yeah. It's cool.
Then we had Bronc Buster was behind us, which I got to know Tyler a little bit, and you guys, I'm sure you've seen the video by now for that. I really did. So you guys watch that interview. I went into that interview and I talked to him probably 20 minutes before I did that interview. And I said, Tyler, I'm not convinced about your product. And I said, I'm not going to be an asshole to you. And this is how I said it. I didn't sugarcoat it, which is how I go into a lot of the interviews. If I'm skeptical, I'm going to let my audience know, hey, this is why I'm skeptical. Now, if people choose to buy those products on their own and they turn out to be amazing products, that's awesome. But he appreciated, I think, the fact that I wasn't there to kiss his ass, because there was a few YouTube channels there that were just kissing his ass because they wanted some free product. And by no means am I kissing anybody's ass for free product. I would rather buy it and lose money on that video to give you guys an honest review than to beg for parts. But I see there was a few big aftermarket companies there, and I seen a few people just begging for parts. And I find
Dave,
what
I did not once beg for parts from anybody.
well,
Not once.
I
Don't even start the rumor.
I
I
didn't.
did
I
not
wasn't
beg for
throwing it
parts
at
from
your
anybody.
channel, man. I'm sorry. Okay, I was not
You're
throwing
throwing
this at
shade
your
my
channel.
way, and I'm gonna have to stoke up the fire again.
No, but I've seen it. I mean, when Overland crowd started around 9, really that being a thing, and I'm really starting to see the Overland guys. I get tired of seeing those people. They've ruined so many good sponsor connections for events like that Bronco event. I ran a Nissan event for 10 and a half years. And I can tell you those events need those sponsors' participation because, there has been many times where my entry into the event, the fee I set, was not going to cover the cost. So I needed help with partners. And when these other channels and these Instagram pages and stuff just reach out, and I've seen it time and time again, man, what was the Bad X Bronco dude? I've seen him post up on his Instagram page of like, hey, we're looking for build partners. And you're like, don't do that publicly. The one channel that's Emily, whatever her name was, Hatford or Hartford or whatever. I watched her on a video, and she's got 500,000 or 250,000 at the time followers, begging for it on a video. Hey, why don't you hook the girl up with a new Bronco? And I'm like, I would never do that, man. To me, in my eyes, you lose all kinds of credibility when you do that. And Joe, I'm picking on a lot of channels there because I've seen 3 channels do that over there. So take that for what you will. It's not just one
I'm
particular
just gonna
channel.
ask for an all-terrain nation kitted out Bronco. That's all I want.
Well,
Easter
yeah,
eggs and all.
yeah. If anybody wants to throw parts on it, no, I talk to companies. There's a company right now that I'm talking with about some new aftermarket parts for the rear of the Bronco that I'm not saying I wouldn't take parts, but when I do it, you're gonna get my full opinion, and those companies know I'm not there to just give you lip service. I'm not there. I will honestly review your product, and if I feel like, man, this is just kind of BS, I'm going to show you the BS of it. I'm not just going to say it's BS. I'm going to show you why. And we'll go from there. So, but there are a couple companies that have reached out to me about that, and I have no issues doing it, but I would rather honestly kind of pay for product, and that way I feel like it's a more honest review. But once again, there's not one particular channel I'm picking on because I see it all over Instagram. My Instagram, 1,000 followers on there. It's nothing to brag about, but I see channels with a couple hundred people begging for parts, and I do not get it. So,
I personally have found that I think sponsors are kind of intimidated by my channel with the number of subs that I have.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the fire doesn't help.
I know, and I've tried hard. I've tried to be inviting. I've tried to, look, and just inviting and smiled and I see them and I'm like, they don't, I don't know what it is.
Bubble says they're not interested in critical YouTubers. They want shameless laplanders, which is I do see it. I will say there's some good companies out there that review stuff. I'm not, and please do not mobile. I'm not talking about those folks because I don't want to talk about their names on my channel. But no, I'm not saying it was them. I'm saying I saw multiple people in the Bronco community running up to people. Like I've had people reach out to me, and I'm a media company. I'm not. What am I going to? I've had people go, "Hey, man, would you sponsor my build?" And I'm like, "What? With what? What do you want, a sticker? Like, what do I have to offer?" I mean, I'll give you an empty bottle of Jack if that helps. But no, I find it's a problem in the auto community now, and it's not strictly to cars, trucks. It's the whole communities. Every young person wants to get something for nothing. And I will say this too: if you get product from a company, you better work your ass off for it because it's not free at all. Like there is a cost associated with it. And I've had a good back and forth over the weekend with a company that wants to do something on my truck. They have expectations, as they should. You know, you shouldn't, especially young companies. I know my buddies over at Lifestyle Off-Road, they've been hit up multiple times about free stuff, and for one, they can't afford to do it. And a lot of these aftermarket companies, the newer ones, they cannot afford to give you $1,000 bumper or whatever the part costs. It's not practical for them, and especially when you have a couple hundred followers. Like, you're not moving the needle for them. You're not opening up the audience for them. But anyways, I didn't mean to get on a rant about that. So, but it I do see that, and from time to time it was Gavin in Peugeot. Okay, it was Gavin.
I think Mobile Moto hit the nail right on the head with you, buddy.
What, with Gavin? Yes.
No last comment.
No.
The last comment. Mobile Moto.
I will not wear. Whoa! Do not say I won't wear a tennis skirt for a product.
Yeah,
that's
you specifically told me offline that you would not wear a tennis skirt.
Not unless, well, now, I said not. I would not wear a tennis skirt unless I was able to wear my thong with it. That's what I said, Tim. Get it right.
It was. If I can't show a little bit. You would not wear a tennis skirt unless Kelly allowed people to tuck. Now you would wear it if Kelly would allow people to tuck. Only at Supercell and other outdoor events.
Let's see. Mobile says, I watch a farm YouTube channels and they are absolute shameless with hawking products for anyone. Oh no, I've mentioned them on the show a long time ago because they reached out to me about some issues they were having with their Bronco. That channel, they cut wood or something. I've seen they're good about it, but I guarantee you there's a lot of free product in the background that they've had. And once again, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to work for that company or work with that company and you do what you should, because the company, I think it was 3 videos that I had to launch, and then it had to be on social media, all my social medias for so much. I have zero issue with that. I really don't, as long as you work for it. But since, like I said, Tim, since 2009, I've watched a lot of these overlander guys just out there just ripping these companies apart for free stuff. I know talking with CVT Tents with Bobby over there, who is a friend of mine, dude, he has a junk email for a junk email. Like, it's so like you're never going to get to him. If you reach out to their company just with a presentation, it's not going to happen. And I think a lot of those companies, like the company that wants to work with me, they reached out to me. I didn't go find them. But I do find it funny when he tells me some stories about these people and their desperate pleas for free product. So, and I will say this, like SEMA, well, you'll start seeing SEMA builds starting to pop up on all the YouTube things. There'll be these channels getting ready for that. SEMA builds are not with everybody's product on them. You don't have 16 different companies on there, because that one company may not like that company. They don't want to do they don't want their same product showcased with they're paying to put your vehicle in a booth, and booths start at, I think, 20 grand. So it's not like there's a small investment to give you parts to put on your vehicle and to put you in a booth for a week. And then, or what is it? 4 days or something, 5 days. And then
they can always put you in the back lot.
Well, I did see somebody in the parking lot who was a SEMA build, which, once again, there's a spot for everybody. So, anyways, I don't want to. Let's get back into to my current week. But
to change subjects before you get going, I think John Burnett mentioned something about just wear a kilt with no undies.
Hey,
I was going to say,
Mark here wears a kilt.
I was going to say, if you watch last night's stream, we have a kilt wearing member. I can't address the with or without undies part. I'll let him talk about that. But
is proper etiquette to reach under and go, hey, are you? Oh wait, you aren't wearing undies. Okay, is that how? I don't know how kilt proper etiquette is anymore.
I don't know if it's like, remember cup checks in sports.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like that. Cup check.
Yep.
I don't know if it's like that or not.
Well, Mark works in retail, so I'm pretty sure he probably has to have something under there. Can you imagine like working retail and then some little old ladies like lift your kilt up and is like,
"Here's me, Sonny. I need a cleanup."
I bet you.
Well, I'm not gonna say where Mark works, but he works at a place where God knows what kind of animals be brought into the store.
Right. Mark Francis says, I'm wearing a thong watching you. Is that wrong? If it's wrong, I don't want to be right, sir.
That's right.
I will say that.
It's so wrong, it's right. Or is it so right, it's wrong? I don't know. Either way you want to look at it.
Adam Weber says, yes, Dave, that's proper ED spelled for the ladies. Just a gaze. Da Vinci says, Crocodile Dundee check. Yeah. Anyway, so back to my trip. So I got to hang out with you, Tim, over last week, and I had a blast. I couldn't wait to meet you in person, man. I mean, we've been talking. God, we've been talking for several months now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just me and Tim will have a lot of you know, just hey, how does this? You know, like he helps me with some of the audio stuff and all that, and I try to help you, guide you a little bit with your YouTube channel, and we've done that for quite a while, and finally getting to meet Bronco Santa and your wife, your awesome wife, was very fun. Getting to see your rig in person was really, really cool. And I remember you going, hey, is that too many lights? And I'm like, you can't have like,
you know, it's funny. They came out with another bar for across the top using those same 8 more pod lights across the top.
Oh my God, man.
I'm
Santa sleigh would be ready.
I am debating it. Yeah. I need to get red and red ones to go along with the white.
I'm going to get Luke with Lifestyle Offer to print you out some vinyl that says hashtag Bronco Santa. You know, so we can get that on your truck, man.
Okay.
I think over the years, I think that would be fun.
So I had Luke print out or cut out some vinyl for me just to get started. It was basic, but after seeing some of the pattern schemes and stuff like that people have done, I think I need to step up my game just a little bit. I think I'm kind of plain. It's more than nothing, but it didn't stand out.
But it's less than something.
It is less than something, but more than nothing. And it didn't kind of stand out like some of the other ones in the crowd.
Right.
And well, I gotta be the center of attention.
Well, no, clearly you were, because you brought your chair right in the middle of my booth. You laid it out. You were ready for autographs.
I was handing stuff out.
You were. You had your pen in hand at all times. I watched him. He saw somebody, come up to my booth, and he was like, "Oh, you're here for me." And it was like, Tim, no, they're just looking at a shirt or something, Tim.
Dude, I know it was your credit card slip. I signed it. Here's my autograph.
Right.
That's right.
And don't worry, sir, I need to sign that.
I gave Dave and Kelly an extra 30% tip.
That was, just a tip. But that was kind of you to sign everybody's receipts when they were buying some shirts from us. Yeah. And I want to say too, I do appreciate everybody who came out and purchased a shirt from me, man. Once again, that event cost me $2,000. No, I knew going in, I knew like this is not a profitable situation for me. But it was nice to get like some return on investment. So, or some return on investment, we'll say.
So I want to comment on this, talking about the event and the shirts and stuff like that. The one thing, everybody was great at this event. It was an awesome event. It was one of those times, the weather when I came down, they were talking high 60s, low 70s. Mm-hmm. It turned out to be mid 80s. And I don't think everybody that had come to that event was prepared for it to be that warm. And there was a young lady walking through the crowd with I don't know if it was her husband or friend, maybe parent, but she was wearing a sweatshirt. And it was like 85 degrees, and you called her over.
Oh, so you're okay. I see where you're
going. I remember that. And you gave her a t-shirt just so she could take that sweatshirt off, because she did not look happy because it was so hot.
She probably didn't want to be in a Bronco event to begin with. Yeah. I'm speculating there, but no, they definitely she was in this. It was a dark gray, so the sun's out, dark colors just drawing even more heat. And no, I was like, man, this poor lady, she needs this. But I gave a bunch of the little bags out to kids and stuff, and kids seem to love that, man. A little kid, he bought a bunch of little toy Broncos and he put in there and he threw it on his back. And I gave a lot to kids, man. I do I love seeing kids at car events and they've got their little Hot Wheels with them, because you're like, man, that's awesome that they're associating, the big cars with the little cars. And a lot of them had these big smiles on their faces. They were just happy to be around cool cars.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
So I did give a quite a few bags of kids. So no, Mobile, I am not in the black. I am definitely in the red. And as far as the federal government knows, I was in the red last year as well. Well, because of I had to pay taxes. So there you go on that. But let's see. But no, it was nice. So the weather was nice. I rolled in on Tuesdays and it was in the 50s. And the sun was out, but it was chilly. Not like 50s are horrible. But the next day it jumped to it was supposed to be like 70. I think it jumped to 80. And by Saturday it was 90. When I left the event, my car said it was 90 out, and I got sunburnt. I don't think you can see it on here, but I had a nice line from my backwards hat.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Fun of them.
My legs, my little chicken legs were roasted, and my little cat shorts that I were wearing were not happy. They were pissy little cats.
Can you show a picture of those cat shorts for people who weren't up there? There's a picture on Facebook. I know
I'm
that.
gonna look. Entertain our guests as I try to find this. But yeah, so
you need to find it.
No, I got it.
Because I'm not that much of an entertainer. I'm
not that much of it. I mean, I assume it's on my Facebook page. So
somebody posted. Maybe Andrea posted it.
Maybe. Let me see. I probably don't have any selfies of me in my own cat shorts. But no, so the thing with those events though, get noticed. I didn't go there. Like I wear those shorts in town anyways. But Tim, if you can find it, go ahead.
Yeah.
But you go to I'm kind of a person that I'm a personality, but as you're wanting to be noticed there and bring people to my my tent and talk about what we do. Yeah, man, I'm glad to wear the kitty, And then I had a Bronco girls hat on. So let's see.
Yeah, we all laughed at that.
Yeah, I don't care. My friend Heidi makes these awesome hats. So there's the Bronco girls hat. I was wearing that all day Friday. Because I needed something over my face, a little shade in my face because I was getting so sunburnt. But let's see. Did you find them, Tim?
Yeah, I'm rolling down here.
But I got a lot of people got in my Bronco too, which I was happy about. So I had the windows were down, doors unlocked, people could get in it. And you guys, I always say I'm not sponsored by 67 Designs, but I guarantee you I sold a bunch of their products because I had quite a few people wanting to see the product in the truck to see if they wanted to make that purchase. And quite a few people were impressed with their product. So I was happy to do it and want nothing for it.
I had quite a few people looking at mine too. And, I opened up the doors and rolled the windows down and just went, sat in a chair and was there if anybody had any questions.
The one thing I did notice at this event, which I was hoping to see, was more modified vehicles. And I don't mean like adding a 67 Designs rail on there or something like that, but like some really, really cool and interesting new ideas. And the only one that I saw that was really, really interesting was from, IAG. I did that video from them where they have the new LED lights that they're working on in the interior. And those look really, really cool. But I'm concerned, I didn't ask in the interview, but will those work for hardtops? Because it looks like the way they're mounting it might be where some of the clips for the hardtop attaches. I'm not sure. But the way they mount them on the sport bar, it looks like it might interfere with that.
I did not see that until actually your video.
Okay.
So
they had a nice
aware of it there to see it in person.
I wasn't expecting those guys at that event.
Yeah.
That was a nice surprise. And they had a bunch of cool stuff. I do like their single steps they offer, but that full step that they offer for that you can put on the current rock rails, that is needed product. And I wouldn't trust that off-roading. I would take that off. But as far as like daily use of your vehicle, I see nothing wrong with that product at all.
Oh, if you're in the mall crawl, that's it.
Well, not even that, man. If you, it's kind of like the mullet, man. Business in the front, party in the rear, bro. Well, and they you throw them on
water bottle.
Unless you're the type who wear with the tennis skirts all the time, you probably don't get to off road that much. So I'm going to assume probably most of our vehicles are.
Who's say you can't go off roading in a tennis skirt?
No, I'm saying that particular channel, they seem to promote that they're out there off roading all the time, which they live in the heart of all the fun. So why not? and they're fully funded because, sponsors and they're subscription based. But they yeah, if I had access to that, I'd be doing that all the time. But I think for most people who have Broncos that may be weekend warriors, as easy as those parts are to bolt on and take off, like you could have them on there during the week. You and the family want to go camping and exploring, and you want those off. I think in 10 minutes you can have both sides off and ready to go.
Oh, I agree. I went through that whole process when I was looking for stuff.
Mhm.
One of the companies I talked to, they were saying that really they designed a lot of their stuff was I think kind of for people like me. They were bolt on. I didn't want to have to do the engineering to figure out where it was going to fit, where it was going to go, what I was going to connect it to. They kind of did that, but I'm also useful enough that I can do my own work. I can do my own wiring. I
Yeah.
can do those kind of things. And so some of those cases, like the stuff that I put on, a lot of it's bolt on, but
Mhm.
it's a little bit more than just bolt on. I mean, there's some work you have to do with it. Because I couldn't see myself paying somebody to wire up my vehicle.
No, this guy
I get
honestly,
too meticulous in those kind of things.
well, when I was a kid, I used to build a lot of model cars. That was all the rage, and it kind of died about my age group. It seems like nobody wanted to build models anymore. And
Yeah.
my brother was meticulous with that, man. Like he would get string and put in and kind of make it look like the distributor was going to the spot. Like he did a lot of cool like stuff that wasn't part of the model. And I was the kid that wanted to spray. Like my parents would buy me a little $8 model kit or whatever it was, and I'd get a $2 can of paint, and I'd have the whole model built in a night because I was too impatient. I didn't have the patience at the time
Yeah.
to really do that. But no, and that's what I think some of these vehicles are for people. It's more about the build than it is that practical use or whatever, which is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that if you want to build a vehicle that is super capable and you know um what's that, larping, I guess they call it.
Live action role playing.
Yeah.
Never heard.
I'm kidding, of course. But no, there, like I see it in the malls all the time, and there's a lot of badass looking trucks that are very, very capable. And maybe the owner just their skill set isn't where they feel comfortable going and taking it out, or maybe they don't know what like rock crawling might be. They think, oh, we just go mudding, and I don't want mud all over my car. Whatever reasons, maybe they're just not exposed to the kind of off-roading that I like to do. But you know, there's something for everybody, and kitting out a car is part of the fun.
Yeah. Yeah. But rock crawling is not always practical in every part of the country.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I'm blessed for where I'm at, for the amount of wheeling that I could do in
Mhm.
multiple areas. No, you go up north, dude, it's so restricted. Like the New Jersey, Pennsylvania areas, they're hardcore restrictions on everything you do. The parks they do have are super expensive because of how restricted their local and state governments push on them. So that is a bummer for them.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back, Dave.
10-4. Airplane Mike says he is having a warning lights coming on. That's a shame, man, because what, you've had that vehicle for like 2 weeks. I know you were having some windshield wiper issues and stuff, so that's kind of a bummer. But so kind of closing out the whole Supercell experience, I want to say thank you to Bronco Driver, the magazine that puts that event on. They were very, very nice. At times it looked like they could have been overwhelmed, and they handled all the event very well. I think Tim last night said they had over 700, almost 800 trucks there. I would believe it. I've got some drone shots, but it seemed like when I would get drone shots, people were out on rides, or um, I think I did a drone shot on the Tuesday when people were loading in, and I might have did one on a Friday. But Saturday obviously was their big day. They had a big raffle. Some of our viewers actually won some stuff in the raffle. I think Tattoo Mike won something about something Invest in Show or something. I don't know. I guess, the judges felt under his truck. They grabbed it, made sure that, the truck testicles were where they were supposed to be, and he won. So I don't really know why, how, what they were giving away, but I would say that they did an excellent job. And if you are in that area next year, it's fun. If you're a family person, you're like, my family's probably not going to want to be that, and you just want to go over for a day, you're right next to Pigeon Forge, which has Dolly World, all the go-karts and everything you'd want to ride. So there's things that the family can do over there to entertain themselves, have a blast, and leave mom or dad, whoever's into the Broncos, leave them go explore for the day. And there was somebody that was talking about. I think Kelly was telling me this today that somebody was there or on one of the Facebook forum groups that they were all mad because they had bought their ticket to go to it and they were all excited to go see the Broncos and stuff. And then the friends that they wanted to go with was just told them, "Hey, I'm not into Broncos. And so they didn't end up going, man. So that person said, "Damn, whatever. I will next year. I'm going by if I have to go by myself." So to wrap that up, excellent event, excellent people at the event. Like Tim said, everybody there was super nice. Getting to know Tyler with Bronkbuster was really, I enjoyed that. Like I said, I didn't kiss his ass to do that interview. I felt pretty comfortable with it. And you're going to see in a video, I felt comfortable enough that there will be, I paid for parts to be on my vehicle. So I do like the little plastic seal that he's done. And I like the fact in that interview that he was honest enough to say, hey, because I asked him this, I was like, is this for everybody? And he was like, no, if you're just driving the vehicle, you're perfectly fine. You don't need, like everybody's freaking out about these Broncos and their, oh, I'm going to break tie rods. Trust me, I've seen thinner tie rods, but they could be beefier. But it was nice to talk to Tyler about that, and there's Bronco Santa, and to get his opinion on it. And the engineer with Lifestyle Off Road, Nestor, who is an actual engineer, he has his degrees in metal and engineering. He explained to me, hey, Dave, he's dead on with this. Like this is why he explained to me why he thought, and he didn't know the guy at all. He's not really tied to the Bronco community other than manufacturing parts. He's not tied to like the all the whoever's pissed off at who on these forums. He doesn't watch all that. He just builds cool parts. And he laid it out for me where I felt comfortable with that product being on my truck. So you'll see a video for that down the road. Airplane Mike says hopefully next year he's going to go. It's a lot of fun. I know the one in Colorado, the feedback I got last year was it's more about the old schools guys wanting to take their Broncos and literally they just want to trail ride all day. And they don't really seem to meet up they have a centralized area, but it doesn't seem to be the community effort that they all come back together or in the mornings they launch from the area. But the Wisconsin one, Tim, I know you're talking about going to that one. That could be fun.
I've been looking into it.
I think Lifestyle Off-Road will be up at that one.
I have secured permission from Mrs. Bronco Santa.
Nice.
And I don't think she will be going. I think I'll be flying solo. So watch out, Wisconsin. I'm coming.
That's right. The land of mosquitoes. So you keep them up there.
Mm-hmm.
Eric says he is retiring soon, and I think Eric is Navy, if I remember right. So thank you for your service, sir. That he will be going there next year. It's a lot of fun. Whether you want to go I know they did a trail ride at Windrock that was, I won't say it's a shit show, but I will say I think they were overwhelmed with how many people wanted to go do that. So the spotters got a little thinned out more than maybe some people were comfortable with. And I heard there was a little bit of carnage. People bending some stuff, bending up those capable bumpers or whatever it was, the modular bumpers.
I didn't hear that. I mean, I heard that Mark might have kissed a beauty ring and maybe his bash plate.
Mm-hmm.
He sent him some My Little Kitty Band-Aids to put on it.
Right.
But nice. So there was some other damage. I did not hear about that. I'd be kind of interested to see some video.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll see someone. I think Mitchell has a video or something coming out for them being on Windrock, and I'm sure multiple YouTubers will be trying to get in the background of that. So let's see. Let's go back into my trip to Texas now, Tim, because Texas, I left Saturday afternoon later than I thought I was going to leave. I was really hoping to cut out about noon because it's only a 3-hour trip from my house to East Tennessee, but I had to repack. I had to charge batteries, get all my stuff ready to go to Texas. So it was kind of a turn and burn. So we got home about 6:30, something like that, just enough to get some dinner. I went and picked my daughter up from my parents' house so she could spend a couple hours with us. And I quickly was like, she needs to go back to my parents' house because kids drive me crazy. I'm playing. No, I love my daughter. But no, it was kind of nice to get to see the family. My son was around and got to kind of see that. But my flight for Dallas, Texas, I flew into Love is where I flew into, Dallas Love. But The event was at the Texas Motor Speedway, which actually is not that far away. I'm amazed of how many airports there are in between Dallas and the Texas Motor Speedway, because there's Dallas Fort Worth, there's Dallas Love, and I think there's some little regional airport in the middle of all this. But so me and Kelly woke up at 4 a.m. after doing the week of Broncos celebration. Like, we were pretty beat. I'm sure everybody there was, a little tired,
Oh,
but
yeah.
we, I even tried to go to bed early. It didn't happen. I don't think I went to bed till about 11. My alarm clock went off at 4 for my 6 a.m. flight, thinking I would have enough time. And well, me and Kelly about missed our flight. We literally were running to the entrance of the plane with a couple minutes to spare. And with Southwest, you pay if you want to be like an early check-in, you can pay. It's not much, but you can pay to do that. And we went ahead and did that. We were the last people on the effing plane, man. So that money was just thrown out for nothing. Southwest, hopefully you appreciate that.
I got some Southwest hacks for you, including giving yourself a little bit more space in the seat.
Yeah,
but I'll have to do it offline.
Okay.
Well, but I'll give the space. I'll give the seat stuff right away, because I'm sure you can use this on any airline.
Okay.
When you sit on the aisle row, if you reach up underneath the armrest, back in the back, there's a release, and you can lift that arm up.
Well, they all lift up for me.
Well, I know, but you can lift the outer one up that keeps you pinned in. And I think only by an airplane mic. I know he works for an airline. He could probably keep me honest in this one. As far as I know, you only need to have it down during takeoff and landing. Otherwise, you can have it up. And man, I tell you what, that gives you some opportunity to spread out.
Know. Oh, I was going to say, I don't know. What are you doing? Your laundry on the plane, Tim? What's going on, man? What do you need all this extra room for?
There was. I will say this though. One time they were pushing the cart through and ran it right into my knee. Because the person pushing the cart was usually, they work both sides of it as they go through. At this point, it was just the person on the other side of the cart, and she didn't see my knee. So,
yeah. But yeah, so what was strange was, so we had booked these flights. We'd been looking at them for several weeks out, and the prices were pretty low to get to Dallas. And then all of a sudden the prices jumped up and everything was booked. Like, I wanted a 10 a.m. flight or so we would get into Dallas around 1, 2 o'clock and have a little bit of time to kind of like tool around downtown and then get to our event. But man, 4 a.m. to get there. And I've done some early flights in Nashville, and they're not normally this busy. But I think security, we got there at 5. Our flight leaves at 6. Normally I can get through security that early, about 15 minutes. It was 30 minutes easily to get through security, get bags checked in. There's another 10 minutes. Like, we were literally running. And then our check-in gate had to be the last fucking gate all the way down at the end.
So that is, Southwest is notorious for that, to keep their fares low. They always go to the furthest part of the concourse,
right?
Just to get the cheaper rates.
Yeah. Well, so, I like that. I mean, I've not had.
So you can expect that on any Southwest flight.
Well, but like normally I have some time to kill, but to get there. But yeah, it was cutting it close, and it was a full plane, which kind of sucked. But luckily there was 2 empty seats, and luckily a lady moved. She was like, "Oh, you are married. Here, I'll move back here so you don't have to." And they were very nice about it. Nice flight out there. We get there, and I'd been to where Kennedy was killed. I'd been there in 94. I think I drove through there, but I didn't get to stop. And I took Kelly there. It was kind of a fun thing. We rented a Chrysler 300S, which was a nice little ride. And you're going to see a review of that car coming up because it was a pretty new car. And we're thinking about doing a series where we do rental cars, airport rentals, because a lot of people never know what to expect with rental cars. And I think it might be a fun series to do, kind of what to expect, because you're never going to get the best car. It's never going to be loaded, but this one was pretty well equipped, and it was a nice ride.
And I want to point out again tonight, you did a live stream from the rental car parking lot, trying to decide which, I think you guys were Enterprise,
Yes.
trying to decide which of the vehicles in that section you wanted to take, and I was just getting out of bed in
Yeah.
town.
Well,
I was
yeah.
just
No, because
rolling out,
it was
thinking
an
about getting a cup of coffee.
hour and 20-minute flight. So yeah. So if we left out at 6, yeah, you're like, I'm not have time for this dude right now.
No,
But no, I thought that was kind of fun on
no,
Instagram. We did
I
that.
don't know if you picked it up. That was Emily that asked you.
Yeah.
About,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think that will be a fun series to do of what there's people, believe it or not, have never flown before. They have no idea what to expect. They're in a car,
Right.
they're in a new town. And so I thought it might be fun to do that.
I've noticed Collins brothers, Dennis Collins
Hmm.
does a weekly video where he flies out and tries to rescue vehicles.
Yeah, I've
And
seen
he's
that.
been doing some of the rental car prices have been pretty steep lately.
Yeah.
And he's been basically calling them out because he'll basically get a Jeep
Yeah.
wherever he goes. I mean, that's what he wants because sometimes they have to have something to pull
Hmm.
vehicles out of barns or whatever.
Hmm.
And he's been highlighting the prices that they've been paying for Jeeps. And
Well, you definitely can tell even at the airports that they're starting to raise it. They're trying to make up their money they lost from for 2 years. But that's Air Nation. That's my other TV show. So we get to the Texas Motor Speedway, Tim, and I've been to Charlotte Motor Speedway before, but I've been barely in the middle of Charlotte Motor Speedway for a car show, but never really paid attention. I mean, you see how big these tracks are, but this was a completely empty track. And I drove through the tunnel. I'm in the infield, and I'm looking around going, damn, this place is freaking big. Like,
yep.
This is massive. And well, I didn't get to. They had the oval locked down, and for the cars we were doing, they wouldn't want those out there at all. But they did have the road course open that was opened up to us to drive. As I said earlier, I chose not to go out there. For one, because there was multiple vehicles that we wanted to look at and review. You start getting on the track, I'm going to have too much fun with one car, and I'm going to lose sight of why I'm going to these things. So for me, and I find it interesting, there's certain people that I would like to watch on the track to do stuff like that. But for me, I don't think for what I do, I don't find value in me taking I have we did a review on the Kia EV6 GT. First EV vehicle completely EV vehicles I've ever gotten to drive. But I find no value. What am I going to do on a track with that thing? Like that's not a vehicle. Yes, but you know what I mean? There's no practical sense of what am I going to tell my audience about this thing? Like, yeah, you could, it's an EV 300-mile range that you could take on the track and maybe get 10 laps out of. There was nothing there story-wise for me on that, but I did have fun with that vehicle. That is a surprising vehicle. That little booger will get up and go too.
So I got a question for you. Did they have piped in engine noise?
No.
In the EV? No, not at all.
No, the outside illegally, they have to make a certain amount of noise for blind pedestrians and stuff like that, so they can be aware. But no, you'll see it in the video. It's very Star Trek like when you hear those things taking off, or it's very futuristic. You hear that electric motor whine a little bit, and I don't know, it was something kind of strange about that. But let's go through the list of what I got to look at. So the first car we did was the Lexus IS 500 F Sport Performance Launch Edition, which they couldn't come up with a longer name. And we'll bring this car up so we can
put that on a bumper sticker.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's Lexus. Let me see if I can find a picture of this thing really, really quickly. I bet money this is the actual car I was driving, by the way.
I bet Doug DeMaro's probably got a video about it.
Hey.
Let's see. Poke bear, man. Sorry.
No, I love Doug. Doug is weird. His videos are and kind of not greatly produced sometimes. Is very to hear that dude's very inspiring. So this is the car, same color. I guarantee you this is the same car I drove. But this thing was a lot of fun. This is March 21, so no, I'm in a 22 what I drove. Same car though. A lot of fun. Carbon fiber brakes on this thing, just loaded, naturally aspirated V8, a lot of horses. Was really fun to drive, man. This car would sit for a sedan, like it would just throw you back.
That's a 4-door too, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this thing was plush, and we're going to do a walk around in it and a little drive of it. Kelly did not want to leave this. When we were reviewing this car, Kelly did not want to get out of this car. She wanted to spend more time in it. And I was only there for a day, and there was a certain amount of vehicles I wanted to get on the channel. So I was like, sorry, Kelly, we've got to do other cars. But no, she loves a sports sedan like this. And she's always been a big fan of the Lexus, the IS series. So yeah, I had to do one for her, right? Let's see if
what color does Toyota consider that? Or is that like concrete gray, or?
Yeah, it's I forget what they called it. Let me see if it's in there real quick.
I mean, it's a nice looking car, and one of the things, and then going back to the Stinger, it looked like a lot of other cars. But there was a lot of European influence, sports car influence into it.
Kelly Hoons.
She
does.
Now I see. It seems like I look at that, and I don't see much difference between the Stinger. I mean, there's obvious differences, but
here's the color is right here. New color called Incognito. But I don't believe ours had the gray and suede interior. Let me close it. I think I'll bring up a picture of the one we actually.
Don't forget to hit F11.
No, I don't care if people see the. Screw it, man. Yeah. It's a car show. They'll get over it.
They'll get your bank account information.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me pull this up real quick, and I'm pretty sure I've got this all. I think I loaded this video up. But no, that car will go. And Kelly was hooning the hell out of that thing, man. She loved that. We took it on the outsides of the Motor Speedway, and we were warned, hey, there's state troopers everywhere. Once they know the auto press is in, they really start coming around, because they know those guys are going to go out there and have a lot of fun in those cars.
Bad for business, I think.
Well, they don't care.
Tourist dollars.
All right, let's see here. This is raw video, by the way, so just work with me. I don't have any properly edited video on this thing just yet. I mean, why does it keep doing that?
Should we put disclaimer up or anything?
What, that it's raw?
Mm-hmm. I don't want you getting demonetized or anything.
For
God knows. That could be a copyrighted vroom vroom sound coming out of the back, and
that thing, it sounds great, man.
Can't hear it
though. Is it not clicked on where you can hear it? Damn
no.
It. Why, Tim? Why does that every time I go to share something, it's you got to re-click that BS, man. I'm not sharing NASA secrets here, Jesus. All right, there. Let's try this again. I think you can hear it now, right?
Sounds like a gnat.
What? No, it sounds. I will say we had some production issues with wind. Wind was a good 10, 15 mile an hour wind, which with cameras, I don't care if you got a dead cat on or not. It sometimes just makes your life miserable. But
were you wearing your cat shorts? Because I think if you had your cat shorts on, you would have been fine.
That is a good. Maybe I need to take those. I'm gonna turn the sound off on this, so you don't have to hear all the dirty ass wind. But you can see a little rough walk around of this thing. Beautiful car, just a beautiful car, and the price on that thing, $68,000, Tim, as I've shown. I hate to say 68,000 is just not a lot of money anymore for what you're getting, but there's a lot of value to what you're getting now. So that is a fun car. You can expect to see that coming up sometime soon. But next up, Tim, was the cream of the crop. After getting in this particular vehicle, well, they had a 22 RCF Fuji Speedway edition, that complete carbon fiber roof, hood, all the goodies. I didn't drive that one. because it was out on the track a lot. But yeah, I didn't drive it. Let's see where you at. I did drive the LC 500, and if I can find I'll bring up a picture of that real quick because this is a beautiful car. And Toyota Lexus was very like, "Hey, Dave, we do not consider this is a grand touring car. It's a GT, man. It's not it's a sports car, but if you try to stack this up with some of the it's not a GTR by any means. Like it's not built for just pure speed, but this car was wicked. Let's see, I kept trying to get Kelly to really get in it. Let me I'll throw this video up real quick. Yes, we'll share that again. It's going to disappear, and then we're going to have to do this. There we go. Let's see. But here's this thing going by. Well, if you could hear it, I guess. Sorry, guys. You hear the wind. Oh. No, wrong video. Let's pull up the right video. But this, dude, I did not want to get out of this. This is the one car I did not want to get out of. I enjoyed this car way too much. Way too much. Okay, this is me and the thing. That damn wind, man. You see it just whipping the trees there. You got a little taste of the V8 there as it went by.
I feel like you piped that in.
But that car there, oh my God, that is the cream of the crop. And unfortunately, that car is expensive. Let's see, where was it at? Because my little book here. There she is, $106,000 for this bad boy. But yeah, considering the quality of the thing, what you're getting, it's probably well worth the price. Let's see what this is here.
No, I wouldn't pay $106,000 for that. I'd pay $106,000 for a Bronco base. I wouldn't pay that much,
right?
For the
right.
car.
Who's that crazy?
Speaking of which, yeah, well, Elon Musk went out and was throwing his money around and stuff. So I offered to sell him. I offered to sell him a Bronco.
Yeah.
For enough so I could buy a Koenigsegg, and I thought that would be the way to go. So I'm waiting for his response.
Mobile Motors.
But I made the offer.
Have I ever been to a press event where somebody bent a press car? Yes. The launch last year of the Toyota Tundra that I was at, where press actually I was probably one of the first 10 to get to drive that truck. Now we were under embargo where we couldn't release our driving impressions of it till, but no, the first journalist got in the hybrid version and ripped the skids out from under it and damaged the vehicle right off the get-go. It's a big channel, and they weren't invited to this last event because of some damage that they did to that vehicle. Toyota was very upset with what they did to that vehicle. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, so no, it does happen. Funny thing was, there's on some of these key fobs for these vehicles, they have a little barcode that you can, the little QR code where you can get on the internet. And Kelly was curious about it, and she pulled up one of these vehicles, and you could see all the damage that was done to this press vehicle where Toyota had to have it fixed. And it was pretty interesting. A lot of damage to some of these vehicles. So yes, they do. A lot of times I'm pretty respectful because I'm such a small fry. I'm not in a position to give them like then you're not on my channel. So I need to play nice. But no, there was, even at this event, man, there was a what was this? You guys would love it, and I didn't get to drive it.
Hey, I heard
Dodge. I'm sorry, the Dodge Challenger SRT Super Stock. 0 to 60 in 3.25 seconds. 10.5 seconds at 130 miles with a top speed of 168 miles per hour.
I'm guessing that still has a V8 in it.
Oh no, it's a Hellcat in this thing, if I remember right. I don't think no, it wasn't a Elephant. It's the most powerful production V8 engine in the Challenger yet. The 6.2 Hemi puts let's see, high output V8, features a revised powertrain. Yeah, 807 horsepower in that car, and they were tracking that car all day. Dodge had professional drivers there, so they would take you out in it, talk you through the track, teach you kind of a little bit how to drive the track, and then they switch seats with you. And yeah, I didn't. If I would, because it was a 2-day event, if I would have been there today, I would have got more content on that stuff. But till this is my full-time job, I have to get back to my full-time job on that. But no, it's that dude, when you hear that, it's something. I'm gonna be sad when Dodge, because they're saying by what 2 years they're going EV with those cars. There's something about their Hemis, man. When you hear the rumble of that car start up, there's just something exciting. It's mechanical, and being in the we were stationed in the garages there, the NASCAR garages that they have at the track. So you would hear that thing start up in that garage, and you were just like, "Holy shit! This is it. It's exciting. There's something mechanical. You smell the gas coming out of the exhaust a little bit, and it's just exciting." And they had 4 or 5 EVs that all the journalists were first to get to, and you go, "Well, why were they first to get that?" Because of charging issues. I didn't have to worry about the charging issues in the V8s that I wanted to drive. So we're living in strange times, man, and for what I'm trying to do is going to get really strange.
So the EVs are cool, and there's cool technology. I mean, I've said it a million times. I don't care what the power plant is, as long as I've got the giddy up and goes when I press the pedal down, right? But there is something to be said about that, the massive power, that explosion that's happening how many times a minute, right in front of you, all the power they're produces. It's that same kind of effect that somebody gets when they get to fire a fully automatic weapon.
Oh yeah,
They've got the control of that explosion, all that power, all that everything just happening there, that you don't get with an electric vehicle. You can get the zooms. I'm not gonna not gonna deny that. There's definitely some very quick and awesome electric vehicles, but there's a lot to be said for that tactile feeling of those explosions that and all that raw power that you just don't get with an electric motor.
Oh, no doubt. It's I don't know. It's just it's knowing that, yeah, like you're saying, knowing what you're revving that engine, and with the EV, yeah, you can push the throttle and it goes fast. But you're right. Like there's just something about, I don't know. It's like barbaric. Like it's that scene in what was the Tom Hanks movie where the airplane crash, Wilson and all that. Oh gosh. You know what I'm talking about? He's on the island. What is it?
Castaway.
Yeah, Castaway. Where he gets excited. He's like, when he makes his first fire, and he's like, "I made fire," and he's like, there's something about that with that. But Mobile, no, it was not the TFL guys, because they were not there the first day of that event. They were there the second day though. Andre and Papa Bear was there, but no, it was not those guys. But the person did tear up, damage the vehicle. And it was very upsetting.
The Cigar Texan's absolutely right. You got to be able to feel it.
Yes.
And don't you're going to get the G's. You got to get pushed back in the seat with an electric motor. But you're not feeling the raw power of that power plant.
No doubt.
It's the same excitement we get when we see NASCAR zip by, or an Indy car or something like that. A Formula One.
Well, Airplane Mike says he rented a Tesla twice when he was in Orange County. It was a pretty cool car to drive. I've rode in Teslas, but I've not got to drive a Tesla. This Kia was the first true EV that I've gotten to drive. Nothing wrong with it, man. This EV6 that I drove would throw you in the seat 4-second 0 to 60, which is ridiculous. I remember a vet doing that, being like, "Holy shit, we're doing 4 seconds in vets." But no, it's just not the same experience. But guess what? Once the V8s are gone, and they're gone, by the way, Dodge is kind of the last hurrah of that. But the new Mustang, I don't think the new Mustang will be. I think you're going to be V6, and that's it. I think I think they'll do a 4-cylinder as well, but I think the days of them doing their big V8 with the supercharger on it are over. And then what does that leave you with? The Vet. Well, it came out this week. The Vet's we're going to produce a hybrid version and an EV version, which I don't know, man. I General Motors though is a clusterfuck of whatever they're doing. They don't know. They don't seem to have a game plan, no focus, and they're just like throwing EVs on everything now.
So are the auto manufacturers responding to the market, or
no? They're responding to the federal. They're responding to the federal government's push for this, and there's a particular person in whatever your politics are. I don't give a shit, but the current administration is got a hard on for EVs. Without any way of actually charging these things, they seem to have this, and whatever reason, GM especially has been bought. They've bought the administration. It's pretty obvious that they've bought it because there's lots of, I forget this kid, Sam something. He covers EVs. He lays it out where our president was at the launch of the Hummer. And he was like, oh, yeah, General Motors is the first to market on an EV, this and that. And you're like, Rivian's got to be over there going, hey, guy. But there was all GM. GM just was the first for everything. Like GM invented electric vehicles, basically. And
it's government motors. And that's the problem with government, is that government thinks it needs to fix everything.
I did hear something funny today, though. I was going through security, and this gentleman was he was one of the people where you put your bags through the machine, and somebody I didn't catch what they said. They said something to him, and he's like, "Sir, I am government, and we are the least efficient people ever." He goes, "But we're working on it," and it was hilarious to hear this dude say it and admit that, like, we're not efficient. So,
all right.
But
you ever get patted down by TSA?
I did. So when I had I was going to a Nissan event. So we were going to Salt Lake City, Utah, actually Park City, for the launch of the 20 when they refreshed the Titan in 20. And it was November of 19. I had reconstructive surgery on my shoulder. I had 3 pins put in it, and they had my labrum fix all that. And I got the call of like, hey, we would like you and Danny to go out there and be a part of this. And I was almost turned it down because I was not ready to travel. But no, I was all excited by that. And I went, and there was another person from Nashville I knew going. So he helped me get my bag up on the tray and all that. But on the way back, no, I had no help. And on the way back, I was in my sling. And so they, you go through the machine, you're supposed to put your hands up. I was like, look, dude, there's no way I can get my hand up there. And so, then they do the whole wand, and then they're rubbing all over me. And it was a good time.
Did you say it's not gay if it's TSA?
No, but I did say, I said, hey, can you do that again?
Yeah, there you go.
She was cute. She was cute, man.
Yeah.
But no, that's the only time I've been patted down.
$2 for her?
Dude, I what?
I said, did you drop her a couple dollars?
No, I think that's they consider that bribery then. Hey man, I'll take the free pat down,
Okay.
We both got something out of that, I guarantee you.
There we go.
Cigar Sexton says, I've been patted down by Egyptian soldiers once. I bet that was fun.
Security in different countries are kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yep. Look, everybody's mentioning Castaway too, man. I don't know why I could not think of that. But so the EV6, talk about that just for a second. Of course, there's videos coming on all of this stuff. Was a fun that I love the flat colors that these manufacturers are using now, the flat paints.
Mm-hmm.
They look so good and so racy. And I think we were attracted to this vehicle because Kelly had her Nissan Xterra wrapped almost this identical color, and then there's a paint for this. There it is.
So I'm going to ask you another question about the paint. You said you saw a lot of flat paints. Mm-hmm. Now we know, after talking with Mitchell a couple of weeks ago, one of the things I know right. I don't know if it was a definitive or if it was this is what I feel, but according to Mitchell, he saw it. They got rid of the Rapid Red, they got rid of the Antimatter Blue because it was such a pain to paint
Mm-hmm.
and such a pain to, um, to they had to feather it in. They couldn't just replace a panel and stuff like that and repaint it. Um, I'm wondering, do you think that auto manufacturers are kind of going that way to keep the cost down? That in being able to paint them much faster and probably not as obviously because we all know that they're not painting them as thick as they used to paint them
Well,
either.
it's a matte metallic finish, so it's not like it's just a complete one. It does have a little bit
We,
of
we
shine to it.
could have said that before I went into that
I'm
whole
sorry.
explanation there.
Well,
Thanks, Dave.
I was enjoying you talking, but
Yeah.
no. Actually, I talked to Kia about this, and they were like, "This is a difficult color to fix." But there's also like a $700 upcharge on just the color alone, so they don't care. I will say it was interesting to see the orange peel in flat paint. You could see some orange peel into it, and but who cares, man? Especially it's a fun little EV, and it's a box that you're gonna drive for about 5 years, sell it off. The second owner is gonna have to replace a battery at some point, and then about 5 more years, it's in the trash can. So, and that's EV. That's what these manufacturers love. They love the fact that they'll get about two ownerships out of it, and they crush it and start over. I really think that's a big chunk of why these guys want to go EV is they keep that machine rolling, man. We got to keep buying new
Yeah.
cars.
Bird Dog Overland mentioned that he thought the GM announced that they had planned to go all EV before Biden came into office, and he's probably right. I think it's been a kind of thing of the federal government for some time now
Yeah.
to
Well, I'm
be
not
kind of
saying.
all in on renewable energy. So
Oh
yeah,
no, even with the Obama administration, even Trump had pushed a little bit for some of this. I'm not
mhm.
dumb to that by any means, but I will say this current administration, and I'm not shitting on them for it. I'm just saying this is what I've seen. It's pretty blatantly on this particular issue that the GM has bought and paid for their love. They've petted them enough that that you've seen. I want
Yeah,
to say we've seen our current president over there twice, something like that,
well,
bragging about GMs, and he even drove the F-150. But he
I
really
mean,
has a hard on for GM.
correct me if I'm wrong,
You're wrong.
but I seem to remember back in the bailout days, all the only one of the three domestic manufacturers, the big three, um, took government money to bail out. GM being one of them. I think
Mm-hmm.
Chrysler was the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Ford did not. They survived it. They
And
weathered
took
it.
a lot of heat for that too. By the way, when that happened, Ford took a lot of heat for not taking money. Ford's credit rating on all that as well. Like they took heat even from their lenders and stuff for not taking federal money, and they had some hard times with it. Their stock prices dipped way low on that, but they did survive it, definitely.
But are they a better company because of it?
I'm not a Ford, like, obviously I do a lot of Bronco talk. I'm
Mhm.
not particularly like I'm not a Ford fanboy anymore. Like I was a fanboy of Nissan just because of what they did for my community. But I'm not really a fanboy of any of these anymore. But no, I think they are better for not doing it. I think they had to lean themselves out. If you look at GM at the time, once the government got control of them, they dumped a lot of mom and pop dealerships. A lot of mom and pop dealerships went away because they had a company called Urban Science come through there and evaluated all these dealerships for them, and they just stopped them. They just shut them down. Said, and I'm talking mom and pop guys that have been around for 80 years. You're gone. So they might have hurt their base, and it happened with Ram. But Ram, at the time there was a USA Today article back in 7 or 8 where GM was in talks to buy Ram. Did you know that they were going to buy
I
Ram just for the pickup trucks?
I did not know
And
that.
they were losing money left and right, and they were still trying to buy up companies, because GM through about the middle 90s through till they collapsed, were trying to buy up all the little companies they could. And why do you do that? In my opinion, why you do it is you're not a profitable company, so you find these little profitable small companies, you just keep dragging them into your big partnership, and it makes you look like you're still
Well,
profitable till
but
you ruin that company.
that has been GM's model from the beginning. I mean, they have done nothing
Oh
but
yeah.
buy
Oh
small
yeah.
companies. Whether it was the Oldsmobile brothers or whoever, and to a certain degree, Chrysler did the same thing too. I mean, they've bought up a few companies in
Well,
the
Ford
past.
seemed to start those companies and like Edsel, and they just fall apart. So
Hmm.
maybe it was smarter to buy Pontiac and Oldsmobile and all these things and just this big conglomerate. But really, if you do some investigating of GM all through the 90s, they had a partnership with Isuzu. Well, they took Isuzu over and just ruined that company. I mean, ruined it. They took Isuzu had their little pup trucks and stuff that were popular. The little Amigo was fairly popular. They had the Rodeo that was really, really popular in the 90s. And suddenly those things turned into GM products. You look at the last truck that Isuzu sold, it was just a rebadged S10 that was a poorly rebadged S10 that looked like shit. And they nearly bankrupted that company. And
Yep.
I haven't paid attention to that, but
Yeah.
I don't know if Isuzu is away from them, if they had to sell them off when they because I don't think of Isuzu honestly as a car company much anymore. But there was a lot of companies. You look at Holden destroyed Australia's only like home manufacturing company. They destroyed that company. Anything they seem to touch, that company seems to just sort of ruin. They started Saturn for who knows why. And Saturn originally was original cars. The second generation, what did they do? They took oh gosh, what was the company, the European company they had of the Opel? They just started rebadging Opels as Saturns here in America. Like, didn't no money spent on that. Just let's just keep doing this, and that's a sign of a poorly run company at the time.
Just rebadging Chevettes and
Oh yeah,
slapping it out there.
oh yeah. Well, but it does make sense in a I had a Buick Skyhawk, and it was an 85 Buick Skyhawk was my first car, which was a Chevy Cavalier, which was a Pontiac S6000 or whatever they called them, which was a, gosh, I forget it, Oldsmobile, something else, that they were so bad in the 80s they were just putting front clips on these vehicles. And that was it, front and rear clip, and called it a new vehicle, man. But I've owned GM products, and I've always found them to be nice products. I have the new EV truck on reservation.
I bet Kelly's parents are
Oh no,
throwing stuff at the TV screen right now.
well they might be, but their parents, and I've noticed this through people who've worked for GM and the actual workers, the hard, the union labor, whatever they have, that those people love the brand unless the brand's tampering with the union, and then suddenly it's like, no, the union is everything. And I've never worked for the union, so I don't claim to be like, I have my opinions of them, but they might be just sometimes, and they might be unjust other times.
I won't touch a GM product. I won't drive a GM product. I absolutely refuse to. And my stepmom's a retiree.
Okay.
And so every time I turn around when I'm talking about getting a new vehicle, she's all like, you can get my discount. Like, that's okay.
Bronco Life
Thanks.
365 said, "What's up? Glad you made it home from Super Celebration." Well, Bronco Life, I didn't make it just home from Super Celebration. I flew to Texas and did 2 days at a press event. But yeah, I'm after this, I'm gonna go crash out, and unfortunately have to get up early in the morning to go to the real job.
Yep. Real quick, going
Yeah.
back in the comments here.
Of course.
Bird Dog Overland also mentioned if either one of us were coming to Wisconsin for Supercell in July. My plan is to. I've secured permission from my wife to go, and I'm trying to talk Dave into going right now.
Probably not going to happen. Dave's going to be in Moab in June.
Yeah,
I'm 10 days on that trip, and I won't say 10 days, maybe 7. I can't remember. I'm actually in Moab proper for 3 days. I'm hoping to stop by the TFL farm or whatever it is now. I was invited by Nathan to maybe do some camera stuff. I don't know. Whether that happens or not. You always get invited to things, and then it never works out.
See, I think we should do is hook Dave up in a deal with Light Bright and have him just fly out there and use their Bronco, since it's got that nice best top in it. He can use that. do some filming. Tyler's out that way too.
Tyler is. Well,
Your buddies, yeah,
Tyler was.
buds. Yeah, you can.
Tyler was. I kind of felt sorry for that dude. He looked so exhausted, but he did
He did.
Easter Jeep Safari, which is that's a week long of just and he lives in Texas, if I remember right. So it's he had a drive to get to Moab. They drove straight from Moab to East Tennessee to do this event.
Mhm.
He said he was going home to Texas to, I don't know, pick something up. Then he was going right back to Moab for more product testing or something he was doing.
Yeah.
But no, dude, that's a tough schedule, man. That is a tough schedule. Let's see. Dude Ranch, Mobile says. But yeah, so there was an offer thrown to me about that. So I may spend a day in Denver over at there if they will have me. But I need to reach out to Nathan about that and get that on the books. But I think he did that even on the video that when I interviewed him, he was talking about that.
So Dave, I also have another idea that
Sure.
you could do out in Moab, and
off-road.
It is definitely going to be off-road, definitely an off-roading thing. And the big thing is about over the top with YouTube channels, right? And they do a lot of stuff over the top to draw in viewers, right? And to get
clickbait.
No, I'm not even talking clickbait. I mean, we need to do this. I think we should get the Jeep on top of the world, light that thing on fire, and drive it over the edge.
I would need about $47,000 worth of donations to do that.
I think you would get $47,000 worth of AdSense revenue on that video alone.
I think I would get a lot of fines and then go to jail for that one. That is protected areas.
They're off-roading in it, right? So how protected can it be? I mean, you got to think somebody's dumb enough. They bring their vehicles and they roll them right up to the edge. Somebody, whether that rock would just be like a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner cartoon where that whole cliff edge just falls off and goes. But I think we should think about that and work something out.
John Burnett says the Ford Lightning will be built in Tennessee at the new plant outside of Memphis, I believe. No, it will not be here, but they are going to build the battery packs here. If that's my understanding, it's what they call it, Blue City or something. But yeah, that's good for Tennessee because that puts Chattanooga has Volkswagen building vehicles here. Middle Tennessee has Nissan building vehicles here, and then Ford jumping into the other area, the other end of Tennessee. That is good for Tennessee. Tennessee is a prime place to build things because of the interstate system. We have 40, we have 24, access to 75. Like we have a lot of good access to for interstate use.
Yeah, here in Indianapolis, we've become a huge hub for shipping, freight. FedEx moved here many years ago when we built the airport, and because they ran out of room. It was in Memphis where they were based.
FedEx,
before.
yes.
And moved to Indianapolis because they had tons of room to grow, and they bought up tons of land. And then out west of the airport, all that was open too. That's where that 1 million square foot Walmart warehouse fire was here not too long ago.
Oh, nice. Well, it sounds like it sounds like it's working out for manufacturing and businesses there.
But yeah, it's growing. We got good.
Are you the guy that set it on fire? Because I see a one behind you.
No. I am a scouter, and we do fires responsibly.
Okay. So
with fire buckets and safety rings.
Do scouts, if they want to do arson, do they do it responsibly? Do you get a badge for that, arson badge?
No arson badges.
Come on, make scouts fun, man.
Well, scouting is fun.
No, I was a scout.
It's what I tell you what. The one thing that's fun about scouting is when you get the adults out of the way, it can be a fun time for the kids.
Wait, that sounds creepy almost.
No.
Oh man. My boss in my engineering firm, he's still big into scouting. Like he took kids out to New Mexico, I believe, this past year.
Yeah,
did a big trip out there, and we have Boxwell here in the Nashville area that was a big camp for scouts, and I think one of their big there's something big with the BSA in Nashville. They have a big corporate office there. Let's see. As far as the event, though, wrapping this thing up, I had a blast in Texas. Texas always some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Treated very nice. I got me some In-N-Out again, Tim. I was very excited to get In-N-Out because it's weird. They're in Texas and all over California and the West Coast, but it's weird how they're like, maybe they're trying to spread from Texas around, but In-N-Out, come to Nashville, man. I love me some In-N-Out.
Yeah. Did you get a double?
No, I just went with the single this time because what's funny is, so I wrapped up the around 5, I left the Texas Motor Speedway, and there's an In-N-Out across the street. And there's a Buc-ee's too, by the way. I was very excited to see that. Buc-ee's.
Let me tell you about Buc-ee's after you're done.
All right. But so I told Kelly, I was like, we have this dinner at 6 and I want to go get cleaned up and stuff. But I was like, I can't pass up In-N-Out, man. So I just did the single, and I went to that dinner later and just had like a salad and some whiskey, and it was good. But what's your Buc-ee story, sir?
So, I sent you the pictures when we were heading down. There was that Buc-ee's in, I think it was like around Loudon, Kentucky. I didn't see it until we were going by it. I had Emily snap that picture really quick. So we're like, all right, on the way home, we are going to stop at Buc-ee's. So we're coming up. Buc-ee's is coming up. And all of a sudden, the exit is backed up all the way out onto the highway. And I'm slowing down. And at this point, we can see the thing. And it's like a Sam's Club from the road.
Oh, it's massive.
And pumps everywhere. And its entire parking lot was full of cars. I don't know if they had some kind of like car show going on or what they were doing, but it was packed. And I'm kind of sitting there and I'm looking at this long line coming up. I'm looking at the bridge coming over the highway, packed up full of cars. And we're like, God, we got to pass. And we went on, got underneath the bridge and look over, and the ramp on the southbound lanes, the exit ramp was the same way. It was all the way down and out. And I'm like, oh my God, what is it? You guys have been pumping Buc-ee's up here on the YouTube channel.
Oh, it's
paying dividends for them.
Oh, I bet.
My gosh. I just wanted to go in there and take some pictures and do a video, a Buc-ee's video.
You go into Buc-ee's and you get the brisket sandwich. I'm telling you, Tim, you get your brisket sandwich and there's some banana pudding, because I love their banana pudding. And it's a good time.
There was enough cows in Kentucky to support the brisket needs of that parking lot that day.
Yeah. Oh, John says, I forgot GM in Springfield, Tennessee. I did, the old Saturn plant. But they're making the Traverse and something else. No more Buc-ee's. Cigar Texas says. Oh man, Buc-ee's a good time. I went and my daughter loves that place, so me and Kelly they have the little mascot running around. I went and got my picture with her and sent it to my daughter, and she was all pissed off because she loves Buc-ee's. Hey man, come on, it's a very Texas thing, Cigar Texan. It's big, it's loud, and it's a lot of fun. So that's like most Texans I know. So guys, wrapping up the trip, we had a blast. So I'm about to upload the video after I get off here, so it'll launch in the morning. And check it out, man. I know it's car stuff. Not everybody likes car stuff, but I've got to expand. And if I want to do this full time, then I gotta show cars a little bit of love. So, Tim, final words, man. What do you got going on? What's anything with your channel coming up? What's going on?
Just putting together a couple videos. One from the Parkway, and one from the run that we did out to the Elkmont. I'm going to use the word loosely, ghost town, as they refer to it. There were so many people taking videos, doing stuff there at the event. I'm trying to capture it from a little bit different side. Yeah. And so hopefully those will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, this week and next week.
Nice.
And that's kind of it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go look for some new bolt-on products to put on, and so I can do a video or two. Or, I might even try it. I've never done this. I might just try to solicit a manufacturer, just see what kind of response I get. And when they get mad at me, I'll just tell them, I'll say, Dave from All-Terrain Nation suggested that I contact you.
There you go.
Or maybe I should leave with that. I don't know. Either way.
I'm gonna stay on that one. Cigar Texan says, if you have one going in your backyard, you would feel different. I literally have one going in a mile from my house. So yeah,
Well,
I'm
based,
excited, but it's not in my backyard.
based on the traffic at the exit, you might be agreeing with Scar Texan here pretty soon.
Oh, I could be. I literally have Interstate 24 is about a mile from my house, and that's where they're putting one. Let's see. Getting a Buc-ee's in Crossville, Tennessee. They are getting one there. There's one in Sevierville and in Murfreesboro. We're getting one. Let's see. Where was it? Oh, most exciting vehicle on the horizon. I'm going to say probably the LC 500. It, for me, was the most exciting. I don't know. The IS 500 was pretty freaking cool too. So those will be coming up. And of course, all your truck and SUV fun stuff will be here as well.
Dave's
So
Opinion Nation.
that's right,
like
man.
that.
And remember, these are just my opinions. I'm not the bearer of facts. I'm a bearer of my opinions, and I will bring you what the manufacturers say are their facts. So
next week on All Opinion Nation.
yes, that's my political show. All Opinion Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and by the way, Tim,
Yes,
Elon Musk did it. He bought Twitter.
That's what I saw.
I think it's a better world for that, whether anybody cares or not. Maybe the Babylon Bee can get back on Twitter. That's all I care about.
I am on Twitter,
mm-hmm.
and
get off it.
Mostly for professional stuff, but
yeah,
I watch the people melting down right now, and
it's great. No,
I
it's
laugh.
great.
I'm sorry if you're taking life that seriously, and then
a stupid social media platform. Yes. The libertarian in me loves it, the chaos. So we'll leave it at that. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, you know the drill. Tim, it doesn't matter what you drive. This has been your all-terrain nation, and it's been Tim and Dave here on the channel, and this has been the happy hour, and we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all. See y'all next Monday.